Singer, songwriter, businesswoman, record producer, and music executive Pebbles was born Perri Arlette McKissack in Oakland, California. The name Pebbles, she told the Los Angeles Times in 1988, was bestowed upon her as a child by her godfather. He got it from a character on the animated sitcom The Flintstones. She admits that even though she doesn't look like Pebbles, the name stuck and became a part of her. While growing up, Pebbles, who is light-skinned and a product of two black parents who each have one white parent, says she faced the same problems as many other light-skinned black children. Kids who were darker than me were hostile to me sometimes. That's just the way it is in the black community sometimes. You learn to live with it. Because I had my hair in a ponytail and had light skin, they thought I was trying to be white, or trying to be better than they were. They'd say, "She thinks she's cute and better than us. Let's beat her up." So I'd have to fight. That part of growing up wasn't much fun. After her parents' divorce when she was around 6, her mother raised her and her 3 siblings as a single parent. Even though she didn't grow up in a musical family or singing in church like other artists, Pebbles knew she was born to sing from the age of 3 or 4 and enjoyed listening to what a variety of other artists had to offer. She lists some of her main influences as Phoebe Snow, Minnie Riperton, Phyllis Hyman, and Angela Bofill. Pebbles got her professional start as a teenager in the early 80s, singing backup for R&B funk band Confunction. Soon after securing that gig, though, she found herself pregnant. She would go on to marry her daughter's father, however, the union would only last a year. Pebbles wasn't going to let being a young mom and now a young divorcee stop her from getting her singing career off the ground. She focused on her writing and creating a demo tape. That demo would ultimately land her a recording contract with MCA. Her self-titled debut album was released in November 1987, 1 month after she dominated the charts with her debut single, Girlfriend. The song captured the number 5 position on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the R&B hip-hop chart. The moment Pebbles first heard the track, she knew it would be a hit, and she was willing to do whatever it took to get it from the co-writers, Kenneth Babyface Edmonds and Antonio L.A. Reid. That wasn't going to be an easy feat since the song had already been promised to another female songstress by the name of Vanessa Williams. Pebbles pulled out all the stops to get her hands on the song, which included paying $18,000 and turning over 2 of her cars, a Mercedes and a Jaguar. Naturally, when word got back to Vanessa, she was not happy about it. LA even revealed years later that she never spoke to him again. Even though the song became a hit, the journey there wasn't without some major behind-the-scenes drama, specifically surrounding the making of the music video. Pebbles spoke candidly in an interview that she wasn't happy with the way the video turned out at all, which was mainly a result of her not liking the production company in charge of putting it all together. Her dislike of the video went so deep that when it was finished and turned into the record label, Pebbles decided to use her own money and time to re-edit it to her satisfaction. Her second single, Mercedes Boy, written by her, would solidify Pebbles as a bona fide pop star when it rose all the way to number 2 on the Hot 100 and gave her another number 1 ranking on the R&B hip-hop chart. You wanna ride my Mercedes boy. In 1989, Pebbles married L.A. After meeting while she was finishing her debut album, they ultimately got together while she was still married to her second husband, and he had a girlfriend. As if that wasn't scandalous enough, L.A. would tell the story in his memoir of Pebbles showing up to his home one day, just after they'd gotten off a phone call where she questioned what he was doing, and smashed all his glass furniture in front of Paula Abdul, who L.A. was entertaining on a date. After that shocking event took place, L.A. figured it was time to move on and ended things with Pebbles, but she had other plans. She separated from her husband, rented an apartment in L.A.'s building, and essentially ended L.A.'s relationship for him with his girlfriend by packing up all of the woman's belongings and sending them to her. LA, fully admitting that he was very attracted to women with a little crazy in them, surrendered to her, and the rest is history. Also around that time, Pebbles formed the Atlanta-based production company Pebbles, as well as her own record label, Savvy Records. The motivation behind the decision was linked to her deep desire to start a girl group. Prior to putting a group together though, Pebbles' sophomore album titled Always dropped in September 1990. It produced the tracks Backyard featuring Salt and Peppa, Love Makes Things Happen with Babyface, the title track featuring Johnny Gill and her cousin R&B star Sherelle, and the top 5 hit, Giving You the Benefit. Pebbles then shifted her focus back to her girl group project. She put the word out around town that she was looking for young women who could sing. One day, while getting her hair done in a salon, Pebbles thought to ask her stylist if she knew anyone. She did. The Shampoo Girl, otherwise known as Tion T-Boz Watkins. Before Pebbles knew it, she'd be responsible for putting together, naming, styling, and securing the best producers, songwriters, and video directors for what would become one of the most successful girl groups of all time, known to the world as R&B hip-hop trio TLC. The group signed with Pebbles' production company, as well as with her husband LA and his partner Babyface's record label, LaFace. Initially, things looked like they couldn't be going any better for TLC, but that definitely wasn't the case, as words slowly started to leak within the industry about how the actions of their mentor Pebbles allegedly led them down the road to bankruptcy. Fast forward to 2013 when the biopic The TLC Story aired on VH1. This was the moment when the group finally let loose all the juicy details of their past financial woes and the major role they believed Pebbles played in cheating them out of millions of dollars. According to Pebbles, though, the accusations were complete lies, and as far as people questioning her about why she didn't speak up years ago about the situation, she told Wendy Williams that she legally could not, due to a confidentiality agreement. Pretty much everything in the movie related to Pebbles' actions, she claims, never happened. She did not have her own attorneys negotiate their contract. She denies that the women were initially paid only $25 per week, and she absolutely did not kick Chili out of the group. She attributes that act to T-Boz and Left Eye due to their ill feelings about Chili's relationship with producer Dallas Austin. One thing that the movie did get right, Pebbles says, is that she does wear Chanel bags. When TLC filed for bankruptcy, the ensuing conflict severely damaged Pebbles' marriage to LA, and it would ultimately end in divorce. Another plausible reason for the strife in their relationship, also related to TLC, was possibly the belief of Pebbles that LA and Chili were sleeping together. Pebbles would later file a $10 million lawsuit against LaFace Records, charging that the company tried to entice TLC away from her production company. She also filed a $40 million defamation lawsuit against Viacom in relation to the biopic. In the complaint, she objected to being portrayed as a, quote, conniving and dishonest businesswoman who hoodwinked 3 innocent girls and exploited their talent for her own personal gain. In 2018, a settlement had been reached, thus avoiding a trial. The terms of the resolution remain confidential. Despite all the drama going on with TLC, Pebbles was still able to focus on her own singing career enough to finally release her 3rd album, titled Straight From My Heart, in 1995. The project didn't do anywhere near as well as her last 2. 2 years after that, Pebbles underwent a profound religious conversion. Though she was baptized at a younger age, it wasn't until this moment when she actually felt saved. Now, going by the name Sister Perri, she founded Women of God Changing Lives Through Christ Ministries. In an in-depth interview with CBS in 2012, Pebbles would reveal that it was the calling from God to take her life in a different path that was the reason for her disappearance from the music industry. In 2000, Pebbles took her 4th trip down the aisle and married former Major League Baseball player Otis Nixon. They would divorce 4 years later. After a 13-year music hiatus, Pebble released her 4th studio album and first gospel album, Prophetic Flows Volume 1 and 2, in 2008. Today, Pebbles' main focus is her walk with God and spreading the word to others. She also decided to give marriage another try in 2012 and has been married for the last 10 years. She admits that she's been asked too many times to count over the years if she'll ever get back in the studio to record new music or go out on tour. As far as she's concerned, doing so would be outside of God's will. She currently hosts live online services every Monday on her Miracle Mondays with Sister Perri Facebook page, ministering to thousands of people all over the world. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you won't miss any future videos. See you next time!